So today is surgery day and we are getting ready. And here's a quick video of how we came about the decision to go through with a procedure under anesthesia for someone in my dad's condition at a very vulnerable time. How did we make that decision? You can check the channel. I will give updates as soon as he's out of surgery. When you are a caregiver and you take over the responsibility for your parent, right? Someone who's cared for you and made your decisions when you couldn't make them, now the tables are turned and the decisions can be pretty darn serious. You're talking about making medical decisions. So as an example, let's say my dad has a lesion on his face, right? And it's basal cell. It's something that could potentially turn cancerous. And it's something that he's, had removed from his body many times over the last 30 years. Well, at some point during, during their decline, it's not something that you're going to worry. Your outlook's going to change from 5 years, maybe down to a year and a half or less. And some things that you would have worried about 5 years ago, you're not going to worry about in the later stages. These are incredibly difficult moral decisions that you have to make. How much are we going to put him through just to maybe keep him alive? And so I have to make a balancing act: quality of life versus risk versus how it's going to impact him. And these are decisions that you're making for your own parent, right? So it's incredibly difficult. And again, I am incredibly lucky to I have a brother who's a doctor, so I call my brother and we talk about it. But those decisions we make as a family. We have a procedure next week, next Monday, in like 4 days. My dad's going in for a procedure under anesthesia, and that was one of the most difficult decisions that I had to make. It's a fairly minor invasive procedure. It's something that will enable him to get this catheter out. And so I have to balance the risk of going through that procedure versus the benefits that we may receive as a result of that procedure. And just making that decision, you may not get up from that operating table on Monday. That is a real risk, right? So I have to balance whether we're going to go through that based on the benefits that we're going to see after that. And, in this particular case, if he doesn't have a catheter, it's going to allow him to be a lot more mobile. It's going to, take something away that's attached to his body that is a significant disruption in our life. So we're making a decision, we're taking a risk for a particular benefit that will accrue to my dad. Right? But I have to make that decision, and that is, that's a massive responsibility.